Hi guys, here I am sitting in front of a candle and let's create an imaginary character. So right now life is going pretty good. I'm getting on track, like I am just doing the things that I have to do and not doing the things that I don't have to do, out of boredom or out of feelings. Just doing things that you don't have to do. I don't do that anymore. I used to be chasing more and more friends, more and more whatever. But then I realized if you just stop and you just do the thing that you have to do, that's really enough, That's really it. Sometimes we try to have the things that we want as fast as we can, but time is also a thing in our lives. Sometimes things happen too quickly and we don't want them to happen too quickly. Sometimes they happen too slow and we have to just wait, and that's a bit hard. But today I want to create a character about this one thing. So I I think one of the only things that I don't have is confidence, and that has caused a lot of problems. I've always had, I was the smart kid in the school, but I didn't have confidence. And I live in a country where having confidence is more important than anything in your like when people perceive you. If you don't have confidence, you're like 10 points 10 minus points already. You come up with a disadvantage, a huge disadvantage if you don't have the confidence. But when I do have the confidence, like I talk with confidence, and then suddenly the thing that I was saying turns out to be so stupid, and I feel stupid. I don't know, I don't like that happening either. So I'm gonna create a character who is kind of it's also about confidence. This character knows that having confidence is great, but every once in a while life brings some, like life does this stupid joke to them. Like they're just confident, they just talk, express themselves, and then suddenly they realize that the thing that they have been believing, the thing that they have been expressing to everybody, was actually not correct. The belief was a very stupid belief. The belief that they had was actually harmful to people. And suddenly they start feeling shameful that they even expressed themselves in the first place. Some people do not like being observed. They don't want to express anything about themselves. They like to be invisible. And they become invisible. They like to be invisible because of this reason. They do like, yeah, probably there's other cases too, but the one that I saw is the fact that what if I express myself and then people around me do not agree with me, or people around me are weird and they just don't want to agree with me. And when multiple people do not want to agree with you no matter what you say, then because there are multiple people and you're just one person, it becomes very, it's not a comfortable place to be in. But I guess they're just gonna say that no matter what you say. So I guess there is no doing the right thing in there. You just don't talk to those people. But I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Let me just only talk to people who will understand me. Let me just only talk to people who will respect me. Only talk to people who are in the same mindset as me. But then I thought, I saw this one on YouTube. I am watching this, like I am subscribed to this one channel. And that is a channel of this one, like, theater kind of thing, okay? And in one of the interviews that they were in, it's like a theater band type of a thing. and they were talking about how the reason why they are so funny is because they learned about how to act to an audience that did not want to listen to them, and because they have been working so much on in front of people who didn't want to listen to them, they learned how to work with hard crowds, you know. It is important to be, it is important to at least be able to still act normal in front of people who don't care about you. You know, when you realize that the people in front of you are just horrible people and they're like judging you right now, and suddenly you don't know how to move your hands, your feet, you just your body just gets like, oh, how do I work kind of a thing, and you start looking stupid. I don't know. That's yeah, it's important to learn that too. It's important to be able to just function normally in front of any kind of human being. But I guess yes, if you respect yourself, just don't talk to people who are gonna be rough on you no matter what your ideology is, or who are gonna be rough on you just because of your ideology, just because you like something and then they don't like it and they just, I mean, I thought about this. The reason why communities are made, the reason why we have a term called communities, is because people just do not believe in the same things. Not everybody believes in the same thing. Most people believe in very crazy, like, you listen to that and you're like, I didn't know that existed. um so yeah, that's why we make communities, and you just find the community that works for you, and you follow that community, you become a part of that community, and you leave the other communities alone. um yeah, so this is the character. um I'm going to try and name this character. So the story about this character is a very small story. Should I talk a bit more about the character? Yeah, I just recorded for 7 minutes, so let me keep talking about the character now. The character had an issue where they believed that they were saying the right thing, and they expressed themselves, and then they realized that the thing that they believed was actually harmful to people. And because of that, they just felt this horrible feeling, like guilt and also just nervousness. They started wishing that they never expressed themselves, and they after that they started coming to their working place just wishing they were invisible, just wearing the most simple clothing, coming right on time, arriving right on time, not speaking much, just quickly walking to their place, working without looking at anybody's eyes. But what could have been done in this situation, it was that they could have said, hey guys, I used to believe in this, but turns out I'm stupid. Turns out I'm just stupid. That's not a very respectful way of saying it, but yeah, the character lacks a lot of confidence. That's why they say it like this. If a normal person were to get into this kind of a situation, they would probably be like, oh my god, I didn't even know. Wow, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that this was harmful. Now I learned about it, and so now I believe in this, you guys. They would say it like this. But she says, turns out I'm stupid. And probably a very optimistic friend of hers go like look at her and be like, of course we know, you're just like this sometimes. Okay, let's just go and eat lunch together. But yeah, if you made a mistake, um, don't let other people shout at you or act weird to you just because you made a mistake. You are a human. You make mistakes. Just like, let's say that you made a mistake and you come to your workplace or your school or whatever, knowing that everybody else knows that you made that mistake. Instead of being in the mood of, oh my god, I made a mistake, be in the mood of, I made a mistake and I learned about it and now I'm going to change. There's no problem, really, you know? It's not a problem, it's literally a part of my life, you know? Some people who believe that they're confident like to act like they're the most, like they're smart all the time. But if you were really confident, you would be able to say it when you make a mistake, be able to say it when you did something stupid. Of course, you don't just be like, oh my god, I'm so stupid all the time in front of people. You don't say that, of course. But you're like, I realize this about myself and I'm going to change. You said, you have to say it like that to people, you know? And there are so many stupid ways that people might react. Like there might be people who might use this, who might use the fact that you just made this mistake, just pointing at that mistake all the time, making jokes about the fact that you made such a mistake, you know? So it's weird. I think the character's name is Flower. I don't know, that's just the energy I got from this story. And flower is in flower is in this kind of a situation, and hopefully she'll grow out of it and bloom.